Hi everyone, welcome back to Hobby Farm in the Heights. I'm Ruth. It's been quite a while since I've gotten out here and recorded. It's another windy day. I know, it's shocker, but kind of had one of those weeks that I just needed to get out in the yard, in the greenhouse, in the garden, and just kind of putter around. Well, today I wanted to show you something that probably is a new technique to some gardeners. This is the first year I've tried it with this specific species, but there's a technique involved. If you guys can see this plant here, it's a pretty common plant when it comes to ornamental baskets, etc., but it is a sweet potato vine. This variety is Blackie. It's that purpley green, really pretty plant. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys today how to propagate your own. I don't know about the prices in your area where you're at, but sweet potato vines are kind of a little more on the pricey end as far as ornamentals. And when I walk you through how the technique to propagate these, it might explain a little more why they cost a bit more. Anyway, sweet potato vine, it comes from a tuber or kind of its own potato. I'm going to show you this. This is my jar here, and this here is the tuber or the potato from last year. We dug them up in the fall. This actually came from my mother-in-law's house. She had it in one of her pots, and we decided that we were going to dig it in the fall and propagate it like I do for edible sweet potatoes. I thought the concept would be the same. And so I overwintered them the same as I did my dahlia bulbs in a cool, dark place in wood chips, and I tried it out, made sure that they were not too wet, not too dry. Anyway, this spring they came out really well. And then I filled up a jar of water, put my tuber in, and you can see kind of these toothpicks around, kind of propping it up. And so I filled the jar about this much up with water, and then waited and waited and waited. And pretty soon you saw all of these roots coming down. My sweet potato vine had sprouted. So you'll see roots, and then you keep adding fresh water as needed, and then these little sprouts start to grow, or what's called slips. These are your sweet potato slips. And from these slips is how we propagate the sweet potatoes. So I'm going to show you step by step here how we get from this to this. So I started with my jar. I had my tuber with the toothpicks. When the roots started growing, I wait till the slips are about 4 to 6 inches long, and then I simply, let's pick one just so you can see. I simply pick it off. I know this is kind of hard with one hand anyway. I simply pull it off like this. You think, oh, I've killed it. I actually haven't. I'm going to take it from here, and I'm going to stick it in another jar of water. Now, I already have some that I've been picking off, and I'm going to pull this up. What do you notice about this? It has roots on it. Exactly. That's what we're trying to do. We're going to grow roots on this slip. So I'm going to pull this one out and set it aside. And then I'm going to put this one in. You can see some others that I have sprouting here too. Now the trick is to make sure it's down in the water so that it will grow roots. Okay, so now I have my sweet potato slip, and I have a 4-inch pot that I have already moistened my potting soil, just your regular potting soil, and I'm going to put this down in there. I'm going to pot it up. It's got a nice long root, so I'm going to use my finger to dig down in there really well. Push it in. I'm going to cover it with all my potting soil. Make sure it is. And voila, I have a new sweet potato plant. Now I'm going to keep it in this pot for probably a week or two and then start the hardening off process, so that my plant is used to being outside. Gonna water it in really well. And then plant these outside. This one here you can see it's ready to go. I've been hardening off all these plants here. And so this fall, I'm going to be digging them up, saving the tubers, and so I can propagate a lot more of these very expensive plants for just a little bit of time. Now, I will say that I will start the propagation process a lot earlier because it does take quite a bit of time for them to sprout and grow. But as I shared in my last video, my spring was so crazy busy. I had no time to think hardly. Anyway, but I'm glad I can get out here today and kind of putter around in the greenhouse and kind of take a deep breath, a time out from life, and do some pretty cool stuff with different products. So that's how you propagate new sweet potatoes. The same concept is for if you're wanting to grow edible sweet potatoes, which I did grow last year. And let's see if I can find it. I have an edible sweet potato slip in here. It doesn't quite have enough roots yet. Let me see if I can find it. You can see the difference between the two varieties. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Here it is. There it is. You can see the different leaf color there. This is an edible sweet potato, and it's just starting to get some roots on it. So give it a few more days and it should be good to pot up. This one almost looks like it's ready too. So anyway, that is the process of creating or propagating sweet potato plants, both the sweet potato vine, the inedible kind, and the edible kind. The same concept applies. So hopefully this was informative for you, and hopefully you will try propagating your own sweet potatoes. So this fall, don't forget to dig up your tubers when the frost hits and save those and propagate them next spring. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see if we can get another video up before 2 months has gone by.